Welcome to another video. My name is Hunter, and today we're going to rank the 14 quarterbacks left in the NFL season and now into the playoffs. But before we get into it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. You guys showed a lot of love on the predictions video, and I'm very grateful for that. And once this channel hits 300, I have a lot more in store for you guys. But the 250 sub stream will be happening this Thursday at 5 o'clock, January 9th. So be there if you want to talk about your takes on stream, and let's get into the quarterback ranking. At number 14, I have Russell Wilson of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And a couple weeks ago, I would have put him way higher on this list, probably in the 8 to 9 range, but he just has not been playing well to end the season. And that's a big part of why the Steelers have gone on a 4-game losing streak to end the season. For him, his stats this year, 2,482 passing yards, 16 passing touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Remember, he was hurt for the beginning of the year, so it was Justin Fields, and now it is Russell Wilson at the helm. And let's see what Russell Wilson could do under center for the Steelers in the playoffs. But right now, the way he's playing quarterback, I don't know if it's going to be that great. I have Bo Nix of the Denver Broncos. He is a rookie quarterback, but he has changed this Broncos organization. He's taken them back to the playoffs, and they're slotted in at the 7th seed in the AFC. He was the 5th quarterback off the board, but he's been playing like a top 3 rookie quarterback the entire season, and his stats show it. 3,775 yards passing, 29 passing touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He's been playing really well, and a big part of that was his final game of the season, which got Denver into the playoffs with 321 yards passing and 4 touchdowns, and nearly a perfect passer rating in the playoff clinching win. So Bo Nix, if he plays at the high level he's been playing at, Denver is going to be a hard out this postseason. And Bo Nix has shown that he can show up in big games like he did against Kansas City, and he had a great game the week before against Cincinnati. So Bo Nix, he's towards the bottom of this list, but he can definitely prove why he should be higher with his play in the postseason. At number 12, I have C.J. Stroud of the Houston Texans, and he's had a bit of a sophomore slump this season. If you told me before the season started that he's going to be this low on a quarterback playoff ranking list, I would have told you were wrong. But CJ Stroud has not played the greatest this season, but we obviously know from last year what he could do. His stats this season, 3,727 yards passing, 20 passing touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Just not good enough, but Houston's in the playoffs. That's all that matters, and he can create the magic that he had last year in that wild card game against the Browns, against the Chargers. The Texans are going to be sitting in a good spot, and CJ Stroud definitely has the talent. Let's just see if he can implement it in the playoffs, and that's why I have him ranked at 12 on the quarterback list. At number 11, I have Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers, and he's dealt with his fair share of injuries this season, but he's been inconsistent with his play across his starts this year. He had 3,389 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. But Jordan Love, we know his talent. He took the Packers to the second round last season as a 7 seed. They could definitely do it again if he plays the way he did in the wildcard game last year. And Jordan Love, he has amazing throws in every game. It's just, can he be consistent over the course of the game? And that's why I have him ranked this low at 11. Guy that I think can move up this list with some great play in the playoffs, it's Baker Mayfield. He had another career season and took Tampa Bay back to the playoffs in his second year as starter. I have him at 10 on this list, where he had an incredible season. 4,500 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. That high number of interceptions is my only concern, because Baker has shown he could turn the ball over, but when he has great games, he has great games. In Week 17 against Carolina, he had 359 yards passing and 5 touchdowns, so he shows what he can do. Baker Mayfield also is another quarterback that took this Buccaneers team to the divisional round last year, so we know he can win with this Tampa team. Let's see if he could do it against the Commanders, because a big part of them winning would be Baker putting up a great game and getting the passing game going, and I know he can, but I have him ranked at number 10. At number 9, I have Jaylen Herz of the Philadelphia Eagles, and this is a guy who can run the ball and also throw the ball. He doesn't have the stats passing-wise that would show he's a great passing quarterback. He has 2,903 yards on the season, 18 passing touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. but he can make plays, and that's why Philadelphia is so good. The concern with him, he's been out injured since Week 16, and if he can get back for Philadelphia in the wild card round, that would be huge. It's looking like he will. So big addition for Philadelphia in the playoffs. And Jaylen Herz has been to a Super Bowl before. He knows how to get there. Let's see if he could do it this season with the Eagles because he's shown he can in the past. Next up, at number 8, I have Jaylen Daniels of the Washington Commanders. And he had a great rookie season. Likely contender for Rookie of the Year offensively, and his stats show he had 3,568 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, and 9 interceptions, and he really turned the Commanders around and sent them back to the playoffs. This guy has had many big moments late in games. Many people remember the Hail Mary against the Bears. He had a great overtime drive against the Falcons in Week 17. This guy has the clutch gene that you need to win in the playoffs, and that's why I have him so high here at 8, because I believe in his dynamic ability. He's had 100 rushing yards a couple games this season. He is a dual threat, and this is a guy that if you're trying to game plan against him, defenses are going to have a hard time because he's really that dynamic. And I think Daniels is going to lead this Commanders team to success this postseason, and I'm excited to see what he can do. In the top half of the list, now at number 7, I have Sam Darnold. He just had a career resurgence year where he put up 4,319 passing yards, 35 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. And this guy's become the franchise guy in Minnesota. This was his best season by 1,300 yards. So that comes to show you how much Darnold has really improved this season. And this Vikings team has really relied on him to win the big games. And that's why Minnesota is 14-3 going into the playoffs. And he really has improved his accuracy. His reading defenses is great. And this is a guy that the way he's playing the entire season, teams have not wanted to face him, and I'm sure that does not change in the playoffs. So I have him in the top half of quarterbacks at number 7. At number 6, I have Justin Herbert of the Los Angeles Chargers, and he has really turned around this Chargers team from going from a 5 or 6 win football team to now leading them to the postseason, and he's a big reason, so that's why he's number 6. His stats on the year, incredible. 3,870 yards passing, 23 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. This guy does not turn the ball over, and that's a big reason why the Chargers have won 11 football games this season. And he is elite. The way he throws the ball is just better than most quarterbacks in the league, and he's shown that since he got into the league. Now it's time for him to get his first playoff win, and let's see if he could do it against the Texans in the wild card. But I have Justin Herbert just outside the top 5 at number 6. Moving across LA at number 5, I have Matthew Stafford of the LA Rams, and this guy's been there in his career. He's won a Super Bowl. That's why I have him up high, because I value this playoff experience, and he's still elite at 36 years old. 3,762 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. That's great numbers for him in a season where they started off not so great, but ended on a roll. And I know Stafford is not as elite as he has been in years past, but in games like the team they're playing in the playoffs in the Minnesota Vikings, he put up 4 touchdowns. So he can obviously still sling the ball. I still have him inside the top 5 because I think he brings that elite pedigree that is needed for a team to go on a Super Bowl run. And because the Rams have Matthew Stafford, they potentially can go on a Super Bowl run that many people are not suspecting. Now to the guy he was traded for in Jared Goff. He's at number 4 for me, and he had another incredible season as quarterback of the Detroit Lions. 4,629 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. He led one of the best offenses the league has seen in recent years, and there's a reason why that offense is so good. Jared Goff is just perfectly built for that system. They make everything easy for him, but he also makes the hard plays too, and that is the biggest reason why the Lions are 15-2 and their offense is this good. They're going to have the first round bye, and this team is a Super Bowl favorite at this point. So can Jared Goff get over the hump? Can he win that Super Bowl? Let's see. He definitely has the talent to do so, and that's why I have him at number 4 of playoff quarterbacks. People might debate this, some might not, but I think Patrick Mahomes is the third best quarterback in the playoffs. This season, he hasn't been as good in year as he has been in years past, but he still had an incredible season, putting up 3,928 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes isn't a world breaker, but this guy has 3 rings. He's the best playoff quarterback in the NFL right now, and he's the quarterback of a team that's going for a three-peat, and they have the first-round bye. So Patrick Mahomes playing incredible, as always, and he just steps it up in January. And don't be shocked if the Chiefs go on a run and potentially win a third in a row. I know many people won't like that, but it's just what Mahomes does, and he's shown that in his years in the league. Now we get into the guys that have been playing at an MVP level this season, starting with Lamar Jackson at number 2. He had another incredible season. He was MVP in 2023. In 2024, he might have been even better. He had 41 touchdowns passing, 4 interceptions, and 4,172 yards. And Lamar, he's that elite dual-threat quarterback, and this season was his best passing season ever. So obviously, Lamar continues to improve, and this could potentially be the year where Lamar goes on that run, gets Baltimore a Super Bowl, because he is almost unstoppable, and teams want to avoid playing Lamar at all costs in the postseason. This is going to be heavily debated, but I truly think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the playoffs. He just makes such a difference for that Buffalo team. He's dynamic just like Lamar. He is just incredible in all phases of playing quarterback, and he's really shown that this year. This might be the year where he finally gets that MVP. He had 3,731 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. And he doesn't have as much weapons as the other top guys in the AFC, and he's putting up numbers like that. So Josh Allen is just a game changer. And if he can get on a run here, he can possibly finally beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and potentially go on a Super Bowl run, because this is the year where Josh Allen looks like he wants it the most. So I have him at number 1 in the rankings. But that's going to do it for this video. There's going to be a lot more content coming regarding the playoffs. Make sure to tune into that stream on Thursday. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.